Now we're discussing failed municipalities. It's our focus here on eNCA. This morning's Ratings Africa has also warned that local government is on the verge of collapse. That was a week before the Auditor General found no evidence of improvement in municipal management. Let's expand on this with Ratings Africa analyst Leon Claassen. Always good to have you, Leon, on eNCA. So the state of disaster was lifted a couple of months ago, but it may as well have stayed in place when it comes to our municipalities. That's how bad this is. Is it a disaster or a catastrophe? What's the more correct way of starting this conversation?
Good morning, Gareth. Yeah, I think it's a disaster. We've been warning for many years that the municipal sector is really facing big problems in terms of their financial sustainability. And our latest analysis that we published a week or so ago just confirmed that once again. About 60% of the top 100 municipalities in South Africa we consider to be financially unsustainable, which means over time services are probably going to break down and the municipalities will not be able to deliver any services. So that is a big problem in South Africa at the moment.
When we say these services are going to break down and continue to break down, how much worse can they get?
Well, I think, the laws of physics will just set in and installations will just stop working. Pipelines will burst and they will not be able to fix them. So that is what I call, a total collapse of the infrastructure. And municipalities are all about infrastructure. You need electricity, you need roads, you need water pipelines, sewer, and so forth to be able to deliver services. But once that is crumbling, the services will stop.
Give me your view, Leon. Where's this money going? There's a lot of money going into municipalities. Where's it going? Where do we follow the money?
Well, I think, as the Auditor General has also indicated, there's wide-scale corruption at the municipal level. Like the one example that you mentioned, that funds were sort of allocated to build a dam, but the dam was never built physically. When they go in to inspect the site, there was no dam. So, yes, it went into the pockets of the managers as well as probably councillors and so forth. So I think there's wide-scale corruption and then just also mismanagement of the funds, not sticking to a proper budget and just wasting the money. I think that's where the money is going.
I spoke to Khomotso Letsatsi, Salga Chief Officer on Municipal Finance, probably just over an hour ago as well. And
yes.
While there always does seem to be plans and there's going to be investigations and it's unacceptable, we just seem to have the same conversation every single year. What needs to happen? I asked Khomotso the question, who needs to get fired? Because surely this can't carry on. If this was a commercial entity, boards of directors would have stepped down, COOs would have been fired, CFOs would have been investigated, yet we just don't see that happening at a municipal level.
Yes, you're quite right. I think the councillors are probably considered to be the board of directors of a municipality, and they fail in their governance aspects and their governance functions. And obviously, the whole system of cadre deployment has put people in places who do not have the skills, the qualifications, the experience to manage a municipality properly. So that is, the root cause, I think, of this whole situation that we have in the municipalities. I think we should move away from a politicized municipal system and make the municipal sector professional again. Where, like in the old days, you have people that have a long-term professional career at the municipal level. But this 5-year contracts for the municipal manager and CFO and other executive directors has proven now it's not working because, no serious professional manager would like to know that after 5 years his contract is not going to be renewed and he has to look for another job and so forth. So that's probably, one of the additional reasons why we do not have proper managers at the municipal level.
I'm going to leave this as my last question to you, Leon, just to go back to what I mentioned earlier, that the study warning that the local government sector is on the verge of collapse. I always like to get a timeline. When we say the verge of collapse, how long do you think before this really is unsalvageable?
I think 3 years.
Why is that?
Well, as I mentioned, it's just the laws of physics will just set in. And because they do not proper maintenance, routine maintenance, they just do crisis maintenance to fix something when there's a problem. But because they, as I mentioned, there's wide-scale corruption, so there's not enough money around to really do long-term maintenance to make sure that the assets will last for a long period of time. So eventually things will just crumble away. And I think we see that all over. Sewer is running into rivers, water pipelines are bursting, electricity, apart from Eskom's outages and at the municipal level as well. Many municipalities sit for days without power. So it's just getting worse and worse. And probably, this is just a guesstimate. I'm not an engineer, but the guesstimate about 3 years.
About 3 years. That'll take us conveniently just past the next elections, won't it? Wonder what the country is going to do when we get to vote again. Always good to have you, Leon Claassen. Appreciate your time, Ratings Africa analyst, giving us some reaction to our big focus this morning. They're not failing municipalities, they are failed municipalities.